time is now 4:03. As a reminder, please note that the board meetings are being recorded for the convenience of those unable to attend this video conference. A recording and closed captioning will be posted to the BERS YouTube channel following the meeting. Alex, please call the roll.
Tazeen Azad. Janelle Chacon. Gregory Faulkner.
Present.
Thank you. Cherie Gibson.
Present.
Thank you. Angela Green.
Present.
Thank you very much. Allison Hirsch.
Present.
Thank you. Kyle Kimball. Anthony Lopez.
Present.
Thank you. John Maderick.
Present.
Thank you. Donald Nesbitt.
Present.
Thank you. Alan Ong.
Present.
Thank you. Kaliri Salas Ramirez. Benjamin Schanbach.
Present.
Thank you. Thomas Shepard.
Present.
Thank you. Karina Taveras.
Present.
Thank you. Gladys Ward.
Present.
Alex, do
Thank
we
you
have
very much. Yes, we do.
Thank you, Alex. The first order of business is calendar item number 1, noted in the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Ed Retirement Board held on June 21st. May I have a motion to consider?
So moved, Tom. Second.
Thank you, Tom. Second,
Tony.
Tony. When I call all in favor, if you wish to vote in favor of the resolution, please unmute yourself and respond in favor. Similarly, if you wish to oppose or abstain from the particular vote, please unmute yourself and respond accordingly when I call any opposed, any abstentions. So all in favor, aye, Donald.
Aye, Tom.
Aye,
Greg.
Aye, Alan.
Hi, Karina.
Hi, Ben.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing none, motion carries. Next on the agenda is Executive Director's update. Sandy, would you like to share any remarks with us?
Yep, they'll be brief tonight, but actually before that, can I identify the call-in user who's calling in on the phone, please?
Karina Tavares.
Karina, thank you very much. Sorry that we'll mark you on the list. So tonight I'm just going to talk about staffing updates and some educational opportunities. The Great Resignation and wage inflation continues to impact BERS and other public and private organizations. BERS currently stands at 12 open headcount, or approximately 90% staff. This has been kind of a consistency over the last 2.5 years. For about 72 hours, we were down to 9 open headcount, and it snapped back very quickly. We are losing them almost as we hire them, and we have been hiring a lot of people in the last year, actually. This has impacted some operations where there are minor accumulating backlogs, though this is offset by success in whittling down backlogs in our loan portfolio cleanup and our success in managing the pressure of the Galeno cases. Most of our operations maintain a cadence that keeps us near current, including major projects like Velocity, standing up the disability department, and infrastructure improvements at 65 Court. We're doing a great deal of this by paying overtime to our staff. To highlight some of these challenges we are experiencing, I'd like to focus on 2 things: the call center and counseling as examples. In the call center, first stood up 4 years ago, we are working to respond to member concerns over call wait times. Within the limits of established by our budget and FTEs, our call center at full staff is 13, with a supervisor making 14. This year, we have hired 6 staff and lost 4 to retirement or resignation. We have 1 open headcount and have extended offers and await start dates for 2 positions. The training of a call center representative takes 3 to 6 months, so the impact on member wait time should be favorably impacted over the coming months. That said, the August 2022 call performance compared to August 2021 shows little improvement because of turnover. We are still experiencing approximately 50% call abandonment. with average call wait times up from 12 minutes to 30 minutes year over year. We have work to do, but considering the instability in the workforce, MCI is doing an excellent job. I will add that counseling is also managing through this challenge. While the pandemic created significant pressure on the call center as DOE staff considered their options upon the callback from the pandemic, we have not seen a significant increase in retirements as compared to the most recent pre-pandemic year. Counseling has in-person appointments booked through early 2023, but is managing near-term individuals needing immediate attention with an ability to respond within 1 to 7 days for anyone who has a short wait time and needs immediate attention. Our counseling staff is down by 2 headcount, but is managing well as it screens meeting requests for timeliness and handles some requests for in-person meetings with phone calls and virtual meetings where folks are not yet qualified by age or accredited service for retirement in the near term. Kind of a basic staffing update hitting MCU and counseling. If there are any questions about that, I'd be happy to respond. I will add, before you get a chance to ask questions, though, a couple of educational opportunities. I sent around an email this morning to trustees about the Museum of American Finance Sustainable Investing event, which is happening on September 19th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is very often a very good session. They did one of these about 3 years ago, just before the pandemic hit. On October 8th through October 11th, the National Council of Teacher Retirement Systems has their annual conference. On October 23rd to 26th, NYCBERS Public Safety Conference event occurs. And during that conference, the National Accredited Fiduciary Program is offered in its entirety. This is an excellent opportunity for trustee training that I would encourage trustees to consider. And then finally, the Baruch MOPI Fiduciary Trustee Educational Sessions will begin Friday, October 7th. They run Fridays with some gaps until 12/16. I want to thank trustees that enrolled in the Baruch session. We will be the most represented retirement system at the event, and I want to thank you for signing up. That's it for me, Don. Are there any questions? I'd be happy to respond.
Thank you, Sandy. Are there any questions for Sandy? Are there any questions for Sandy?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thanks, Donald. This is Tom. I just have maybe one question, right? So I know we have struggled with the call center for a while in terms of getting the call abandonment number down. And I know that a big part of this is headcount. So I'm trying to understand, what are we doing to, I know it's a challenge, but what are we doing to either hire or staff the call center in a way that can get this call abandonment number down and reduce wait times?
Well, the practical reality, Tom, is that we don't have the FTEs to allocate there at the moment. I think pending the possibility that the governor signs the auto enrollment bill, we have had conversations about what the impacts that will have on our organization. One of the earliest, most dramatic impacts will be member outreach and call center, because for the first 9 to 12 months, we are going to have to make an extension of our organization to a lot of geographical locations in order to inform people about the auto enrollment deadline, which will come probably at the end of next year, towards the end of next year, and their rights to opt out. And the reality is that will hit us very first in member communications and counseling and in the call center, and with subsequent years impacting operations. It's highly likely we will come to the board with an enhanced budget request to handle that, pending the governor's signature. Apart from that, our budget is to be approved September 20th. We are not expecting, we're not asking for additional headcount. look, the reality is we're having problems hiring people. They're just, in fiscal 2020, we lost 2 people, both to deaths to the pandemic. Fiscal 2021, we lost 2 people, retirement and a forced departure because of vaccine. In fiscal 2022, we lost 26 staff members. And that was to competitive alternatives. So, this is just something we're going to have to manage through. And
Can I add more color, Sandy?
I'm sorry?
Can I add more color on the call center for Tom specifically? More color on it.
Well, just more color is that we have 3 headcount that are open, but 2 of them will be filled in the next few weeks. The practical reality is the call center will probably improve over the next 3 to 6 months as the recent hires get acclimated and get trained up. So we're hopeful for improvement, assuming there isn't more turnover, Tom. This is I predict we have another, 12 to 24 months of this.
Tom, we made 7 offers on the call center in the first 6 months of last year. They all were declined. At the same time, we had 4 departures. We've hired 6 people since March. That was the first time we can make a hire. As Sandy stated, it's a 3 to 6 month training window for the call center. So this has a significant impact. We've been making offers, but we can get a lot of turned down often. I've never seen this bad before.
I guess I have a follow-up to that then. Is it because we're not competitive in terms of wages, or could you have people explained why they're turning down the position when offered?
Competitive wages, Tom. Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Any other questions from the board? Any other questions from the board? Seeing no other questions. Thank you, Sandy, for your report. Thank you, Tom, for your question. The next item on the agenda is attorney-client, is in attorney-client session. May I have a motion to consider, to go into attorney-client session?
So move, Tom.
So move, Tom. I see.
Second.
Okay, we have Tony for a second. All in favor, please indicate if you're in favor, if you're opposed, or abstention. So all in favor?
Aye.
I approve.
Giuliano?
Aye, Caleras.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Karen, please pass control of the meeting to Russ.
Okay, I had resumed the recording. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you. The next items on this afternoon's agenda are calendar items 2 through 17, the ordinary business of BERS. May we have a motion to consider items 2 through 17?
So moved.
Tom, so move. Motion second. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Second, I see popped up first, Greg Faulkner. All those in favor? Oh, no, not yet. Alex, please tell us the ordinary business of BERS. Sorry about that.
These are all the retirements, refunds, and death benefits that have been processed since the last meeting of the board.
Thank you, Alex. We now have to vote on these items. All in favor of calendar items 2 through 17, please indicate your approval. Aye, Donald.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Alan.
Aye, Gladys.
I sure you.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. The motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the election for co-chair for the Board of Trustees. May I have a motion to consider?
Motion, John.
Motion, John Manarich. Second, Tony. Every year we elect co-chairs to preside over the BERS proceedings during the calendar year. In March, Lindsay Oates and myself were elected as co-chairs. However, Lindsay is no longer on the board, on the BERS board. So we have to elect a replacement for Lindsay. Are there any nominations for co-chair to replace Lindsay?
I would nominate Ben Schonbeck, who's taking Lindsay's role in the organization at DOE to be co-chair.
Allison has nominated Ben. Do we have any other nominations?
Yeah, I would like to nominate Tom Shepard.
Okay, nomination by Dr. Polaris.
Clara Salas. Yes.
Polaris Salas of Tom Shepard. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? See no other nominations. Two nominees are Ben and Tom. Alex?
Sure. I think the simplest way to do this is to do a roll call vote with each board member voting for the candidate that they would like for this for the co-chair position. So I can read out the names. Tazeen Azad, absent, right? Janelle Chacon, I think, is not here. Gregory Faulkner.
Tom Shepard.
Thank you. Sheree Gibson. Sheree Gibson.
Tom Shepard.
Thank you. Angela Green.
Tom Shepard. And I just want to say that Tazeen Azad is here. I see her.
Hello. Can you hear us?
I hear you and I'm here.
Hi. Okay, thank you for joining us. Would you like to tell us your vote, please?
Sure, Tom
Yeah.
Shepard.
Thank you. Allison Hirsch.
Ben Schonbeck.
Thank you. Kyle Kimball. Anthony Lopez.
Tom Shepard.
Thank you. John Maderick.
Tom Shepard.
Thank you. Donald Nesbitt.
Tom Shepard?
Thank you. Alan Ong. Alan, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. Alan?
It has left being Alex.
No problem. Okay. Kalira Salas Ramirez.
Tom Shepard.
Thank you. Benjamin Shanback.
Myself.
Thank you. Thomas Shepard.
Tom Shepard.
Thank you. Karina Taveras.
Tom Shepard.
Thank you. And Gladys Ward.
Shepard.
Thank you. This is a majority for Tom Shepard.
Hi, sorry, Alan's back.
Oh,
Sorry,
welcome back,
technical
Alan.
difficulty.
We have two nominees for co-chair. That's Ben and Tom. Could you vote? Would you like to vote, please?
Okay, sure, Tom Shepard.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, we have a majority for Tom Shepard.
Thank you, Alex. So the result of the election, Tom Shepard, myself are the co-chairs for the remainder of 2022. In January, we have an election every year. So in January, we will have another election for the co-chairs of the board.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but we do have Marjorie Dienstag. I don't think we asked Marjorie what her vote was.
Alex?
Marjorie Dienstag, would you like to vote, please?
He's in the chat with a vote for Tom.
Thank you.
Alex.
Did Marjorie get a chance to vote? Oh, is in the chat. Okay. The next item on the agenda is calendar item number 19, amendment to the authority and procedure of the executive committee. May I have a motion to consider?
So moved. Anthony Lopez.
Motion.
Anthony Lopez, who was that that seconded? Allison?
Allison Hirsch.
Allison Hirsch, second. Alex, please tell us about this resolution.
Sure. This is actually very simple, and this is something that the board has requested on a number of occasions. In order to help us make quorum at committee meetings, generally when the committees are constituted, we include alternates for every committee member. Now, some board members already have alternates just by reason of their appointment. So, for example, Ben's alternate is Russ, and Allison has John Dorsa, and Don and John also have their own alternates. However, most of the board members do not automatically have an alternate. And the idea behind this is that when an alternate has two functions, basically, okay? The one is to sit in for the principal committee member, whose alternate they are, right? In the absence, at a committee meeting, in the absence of the principal committee member. The second is, in the case that a committee member leaves the board, whether through, generally through resigning their position on the PEP, right? This is the usual way. Anyway, in some cases, maybe they're leaving their city employment. The alternate steps into the shoes of the principal and becomes the committee member in the place of the principal committee member. Okay, and so the idea behind this amendment is that most of the alternates would be considered at large. That is to say that not for the purposes of succession, but for the purposes of substitution in the case of absence, any alternate can sit in for any other committee member, with the exception of the committee members who already have ordinary alternates, who have standard alternates. So, for example, if one of
Good idea.
yes. So anyway, that's the basic idea. Are there any questions? This is something that the board has requested a number of times. So we thought we would, propose language that does this, basically.
Are there any questions for Alex? Any questions for Alex? Seeing no questions, let's vote. All in favor? Aye, Donald.
Aye, Greg.
Hi, Allison.
Aye, Anthony.
Hi, John.
Hi, Tom.
Clearest.
Hi, Alan.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is calendar item 20, amendment to the audit committee charter of the Board of Education Retirement System. May we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
So move is that Tony?
Yes.
A second, Tom Shepard. Alex, please tell us about this resolution.
This is exactly the same thing for the audit committee.
Are there any questions on this from the board? Any questions? Seeing no questions, thank you. Let's go to a vote. All those in favor of this resolution, please indicate by the sound of aye. Aye, Donald.
Hi,
Aye,
Allison.
Greg. Aye, Anthony.
Hi, Angela.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Calendar item number 20 carries. Next agenda item is calendar item number 21, appointment of alternate executive committee members. May we have a motion to consider?
So moved.
Second, Tom.
Second time. Who made the motion? I didn't hear it. Sorry about that. Tony? Thank you, Tony. There are currently vacancies for Tom Shepard and Greg Faulkner's alternate position on the executive committee. So we need 2 volunteers from the board to serve as alternates on the executive committee into January 2023. They are volunteers to be alternates to serve as Tom and Greg alternates on the executive committee. Do we have any volunteers?
This is Allison. I'm happy to volunteer.
Thank you, Allison. We have one volunteer. Do we have another? Or is it one, Alex? I see there were two and then,
No, there's 2 vacancies for alternates.
okay.
So we have one volunteer so
So
far.
we have one. We have Allison. Do we have a second volunteer for Greg's Greg's alternate backup? Any volunteers?
This is Cherie, I'll volunteer.
Okay, Cherie volunteers to be alternate backup for Greg. Let's take a vote on the two volunteers as appointments and backups to Tom and Greg as alternates. All in favor for both Allison and is it Cherie? Yes, that's correct. To serve as Tom and Greg's alternate, please say A or yay.
Yay.
Yay. Yay.
Yes.
I don't.
Yay.
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 Any opposed to these volunteers? Any abstentions? Seeing none, the motion carries. Calendar item number 22 now is the next agenda item. Appointment of alternate audit committee members. May I have a motion to consider?
So moved.
So move Tom. Do we have a second?
No, that was Anthony,
Oh, that was Anthony.
and I'll second.
Okay, so Anthony, second Tom. I knew you were coming somewhere. There is currently a vacancy for Alan Ongs, alternate on the audit committee. So we would need a volunteer from the board to serve as an alternate on the audit committee into January 2023. Do we have any volunteers as an alternate to Alan?
I think the newest co-chair should be the alternate to all committees.
This is Allison. I'll offer myself as tribute to the audit committee as well.
Okay.
I think I sit on all three of them already.
That's right. Well, see, I knew what I was saying.
So we have Allison is offered to be a volunteer there. Thank you, Allison. Let's take a vote on Alan's alternate. All those in favor of Allison being an alternate to Alan, as please say yay.
Yay. Yep.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Any opposed to Allison being a volunteer for Alan? Any abstentions? Seeing none, this motion carries. Next item on the agenda is calendar item number 23, appointment of the disability audit committee members. May I have a motion to consider?
So moved.
So move. Tony, second. Was that Greg?
Yeah, I think it was Greg. Yeah.
Yes. There is currently a vacancy for Janelle Chacones, alternate on the audit committee. So we will need a volunteer to serve out the rest of the term as an alternate to the disability committee into January of 2023. Do we have any volunteers? Do we have any volunteers? I actually sit on this committee. The disability committee is actually where we go over.
Donna, you got one in the chat. Marjorie volunteered.
Oh, Marjorie. Okay, so I don't have to give the spiel. Okay, we have Marjorie as thank you, Marjorie, for volunteering. Let's take a vote on this. All those in favor of Marjorie being appointed as Janelle's alternate, please indicate your by saying yay.
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 Yay. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing none. The next item on the agenda belongs in the executive session. May I have a motion to consider to go into executive session?
So moved.
So moved. Tony, second. Tom. All those in favor, please indicate by the sound of aye.
Aye.
Donald.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? We are now in executive session. Karen, please turn off the recording.
We are recording.
Thank you, Russ. We're back in public session now. During executive session, the board discussed the personnel matter. This concludes the agenda for this meeting. The next meeting of the Board of Ed Retirement System is September 20th, 2022. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Tom.
Seconded.
So moved, Tom, seconded, Tony. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting, please indicate your approval. Aye, Don.
Aye, Tom.
Aye.
Angela.
Gladys.
Any-
Caleras.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Seeing none, thank you. The meeting is now adjourned. Good evening, everyone. Continue to be safe. This meeting is an indication, we're still virtual, that the pandemic is still with us, right, in some form. And so please continue to be safe. And until September 20th, I see you all then.
All right. Have a good
Take care
evening,
now.
everybody.
Thanks
Good
all.
evening.